Well, how's everybody doing? My name is Jovan Page. I'm a motivational speaker with Stay Motivated LLC. You guys can call me Joe for short. Everybody say, hey, Joe. I like that. I like that. So before we get started, I just want to tell you guys exactly why we're here, what the occasion is. My name is Jovan Page, and like I said, I'm a motivational speaker. But the reason why we're here is because of you guys. So you guys might have some dreams, you have some desires, you have some destinations. And what we're doing today is we're going to incorporate a program that allows you to learn the things necessary for you to be able to be successful in those dreams. That's cool with y'all? All right, as long as it's cool with y'all, because y'all the bosses. All right, so this is what we're going to do. First up, we're going to introduce somebody very special to this program, Commissioner Larry Johnson. All right, so Commissioner Johnson has been a catalyst and convener who brought resources to the South DeKalb area for the past 18 years. In the last 5 years, Commissioner Johnson has pioneered creative economic development projects under his Renaissance initiative. This year's focus is the Creative Renaissance, the program we're here today. We have industry leaders in the creative field from the Metro Atlanta area sharing in plenary and breakout sessions about how to break the multi-billion-dollar industry. So you guys give it up for Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, sir. All right, give it up for our MC. How y'all doing? I'm so glad that you all are here. You all represent the high schools in my district, in my area. And it's all about disruption. Everybody say disruption. You all, I've been in office 17 years. That means I was in office before many of you all were born. And so I got elected in 2002, and I was the youngest commissioner on the board of commissioners at that time. And I was told everything, you know, you're too young, you wasn't going to do anything. But I set out on the path to make sure that generations yet unborn, that is you all, that we can have the best places in South DeKalb for you to do whatever you need to do to promote your craft, to promote the capacity of what you want to do. So you don't have to go to Cobb, you don't have to go to Gwinnett. Anything you would like to do will happen in South DeKalb because that's our goal and that's my pleasure. This was one of the first things that we did. We wanted to make sure that we had a performing arts center in South DeKalb because we had nothing in our area. I mean, you could go to the school and use auditorium, but we didn't have a place that was central to talk about the culture, the background, and enrichment of South DeKalb. Do you know I got so much pushback from building this thing? They say, why would you build this type of center in this community? Nobody's going to use it. Nobody's going to come. You know how they talk. Y'all got anybody talk like that to you? They tell you you can't do it. You're not going to be nothing. Your mom wasn't nothing. Your dad wasn't anything. But I came from, I'm an only child, come from a single-parent household. And I was told everything in the book growing up on the south side of Chicago in Inglewood, that you can't be nothing, you crack going to take you out, you're going to go to jail. But I grew up with a sense of belonging that I can be and do whatever I want to be. And so they didn't know who they were dealing with. And so we set out and built this $15 million structure. And now today I see a bunch of bright, vibrant students who are going to take over the world in front of me. So give it up for yourselves for being out here. And so we went out and set out to do that. Then we built around the corner. Anybody ever been over to the intergenerational center around the corner? 2771 where the spray park is. But if you get a chance, go observe it. It used to be a parking lot. And I said we needed to have a center in South DeKalb where all generations can come and work out and be well and practice what they want to practice. So if you go around this corner, you're going to see the first intergenerational center in the Southeast. It's a 30,000 square foot facility. Indoor walking track. We got computers in there. You can build your own apps. You got a workout room. You can have programs there. They play bridge on Fridays, and then they play basketball. So I got bridge and basketball on Fridays over at the Intergenerational Center. So you'll see hoopties and Mercedes-Benzes at the same time. And so then we put a spray park over there. A spray park is just a sophisticated water park that you can use free of charge. The center is open to you free of charge. And then I didn't want to stop there because I made walking the official exercise for the whole county. I got invited to the White House with President Obama and to Philadelphia with Michelle Obama for what we had did. We were the first county in the country to make walking the official exercise. So then, anybody been over to the Barack Obama school? Over there on Clifton Church? Right next to the school, we named a walking trail. I named it after First Lady Michelle Obama. The first trail in the country. It abuts the park. It goes over to 285. And now we just got about $3.5 million more dollars. So now I'm going to take the trail from Georgia State University over to Waldrop Road and eventually from Waldorf Road over to 155 so you can connect to the South River Trail. So now you can take the walking trail from Moreland Avenue, eventually going to be able to take it all the way to Stonecrest Mall. And so then we'll be able to connect it to the East Side Beltline. And so now it's all connected in next to the studios we have over there off Constitutional Road. And it's right there at 285 in Constitution. That's where they feel Venom it was filmed there, and Godzilla. 9 studios over there right now. Man created out of $70 million. And now we're looking at to get the partnership with Cedar Grove High School and McNair High School, where we can have a pipeline for folks who want jobs in the movie industry. And so I'm working on that right now. And the jobs, that when you ever go to the movie studio, there's no job under $100,000. All the jobs start $100,000 and up. And so you don't have to go to college. You just got to have a passion for being in the industry and know your skill set. So you can go to junior college where you can go get a HOPE grant, which is 90 credit hours you can get free in the state of Georgia. You don't have this, a HOPE grant. And so anybody want to go, it's not the scholarship, but it's a grant that anybody in the state of Georgia, if you're a resident, you now have 90 credit hours that you can get, and that can help you propel your business and where you have to go. So there's a young man over there named Step Stewart. Raise your hand, Step Stewart. Step Stewart started over here with me 10 years ago, and he is one of the best playwrights that we have put in the world. And so he has Soulful Christmas, and you've been to his table. Now, who been over to his table that was out there? Now, isn't that man energetic, magnetic? And he owns the company, and he's doing his own table. Most folks who own something, who you'd be calling somebody else to do it, wouldn't you? And that's the type of person you have. So give it up for Step. 10 years in the field. And he has some plays coming up and some auditions. So if anybody want to be in plays, or if you have a lot of drama, you got drama in your life, people say you're drama king, drama queen, you need to try out. And also we got Workforce Development. We created a program with our CEO about 3 years ago where we hire young people for the summer. I've taken a lot of people from Cedar Grove and Towers High School and Southwest DeKalb High School, and we hired them for the summer. It's a 6-week program, and we put you in places to help you advance your career. Say, for instance, you want to be a lawyer. We put you in the county law department. Say, for instance, you're interested in planning. You want to make sure your area is planned right. You want to have grocery stores. You want to have entertainment venues. Also, if you want to build bridges, you want to build roads. And so we try to put you in the path where you can go, and we pay you $10 an hour, and we also pay for your transportation to get to and from work. How many think that's a good job for the summer? Isn't that a good job for the summer? So you need to prepare. Next April, you need to be looking out, because we're going to put out a ad and ask for people who want to work for the summer. Now, those jobs go quick, so you better apply when we put out in April. So get on their email list so you can find out. But the Workforce Center is designed to help train you free of charge. They got grants available to help you get into fields that you normally would have to pay a fee of life skills in. And that's what the county of DeKalb, we offer you to make those happen. How many of you want to go into your own business, want to own your own business one day? Did you all stop at the first table that was to my right? Where my table was is the Community Development Department. They offer classes through the Urban League that would train you to get your own business plan. How many of you know you just can't go into business and say, I want to be a business person? You got to have a what? If you don't plan, what happens to you? All right, so y'all a smart group. I like y'all. And so you want to get into the business plan, and then guess what? You got to have some what to put your business plan in action. What do you have to have? And so next to that, we have the business plan. They can help you write that. But we also have a revolving loan fund that can help finance your plan. And so please, you all, take advantage of these resources. You don't have to wait till you're 21. You don't have to wait till you're so-called grown. You can be a major business owner right now. Never in my lifetime, and I'm from Generation X. I know y'all are from Y and Z. Never in my lifetime would I have thought that the largest rental place in the world, and they don't own rentals. They don't own homes. They don't own apartments or condos. That's Airbnb. One of the largest companies that you can go get a car from, Lyft and Uber. I grew up with taxi cabs. So now Lyft and Uber don't own one car. All they do is get on your phone and you tap and tell you want to be somewhere. Never in my lifetime would I thought that you have companies that don't own rentals or cars, and they're the biggest companies in the world. Isn't that something? But that's why your generation is so important, because you're getting outside of the box. So I want you to use this Renaissance initiative as an opportunity for you to get out of the box, because you have no limits. I like y'all because y'all believe you can do whatever you want to do and be whatever you want to be. I got a lot of older people, a lot of them stuck in their ways. We can't do this, we can't do that. Why you want to do that? But this is why this creative renaissance was created with you in mind, to make sure that you can be the best that you can be. So you're going to hear from some dynamic speakers. We want you to ask a lot of questions, because if you don't ask questions, you don't get ready. Because if you don't stay ready, guess what? You don't have to get ready. And so we want you to be ready and assist and make you happen, because education is just not about books. It's not about theories. It's about how do you apply what you've learned in your life. And that's what I had to do. I went on, got my bachelor's, went on, got my master's. Now I have a doctorate degree. And so you get those things because you put no limits on your life, and you don't go by what people tell you can be. You go by what you think you can be. So I want you to use this Renaissance initiative as an opportunity to explore, to know that you have a great county in DeKalb, and you have elected officials like our CEO, Michael Thurman, who is making sure he paved the way to make things happen. And take advantage of people like Step Stewart, JFly, who's going to speak, because they are in the industry. They know the ups and downs. You see the story, but you don't know what the process is. Sometimes you see the end results of a Tyler Perry or Spike Lee or folks in the industry, but you want to hear what they went through, because it's not easy for us. It wasn't easy for me to build this building. I had to go to court. I had to fight. They tried to sue me, but I wasn't going to give up, because to have situations like this for all of us. So I want us to take advantage of this. I'm your commissioner. Get on my email list, because we have some great events coming up. And I know a lot of y'all don't drive yet, but if you got somebody that can bring you, I want to see you involved and not just come for these type of events, because I need you to help me talk about what type of curfew you want to have in DeKalb for your age group. Anybody want to talk about the curfew I made for people 17 and under? Y'all know I made the curfew, right? You got to look it up. I did about 10 years ago. If you're 17 and under, you have a curfew. And so I set the curfew in DeKalb. That's what a county commissioner does. You know, we set the laws. We oversee a lot of the laws that are made. If you miss a certain amount of days out of school, I have a right to bring you into court with your parents. So county commissioners, we do a lot. You know, y'all look at the president, but the county commissioners, where is that? So I want you to enjoy today, have fun. Let's take advantage of the opportunities and have a great time, all right? And look, wait. Give it up for the teachers and the supporters. Is anybody from Southwest DeKalb here? Panther Pride? All right, Cedar Grove High School, where the Saints at? Y'all let Cedar Grove sit up front. Why y'all sitting so far back? All these empty seats. And where's the Titans at from Towers? The Titans. So you see, I got to know your mascots too. See, I know your mascots and all your colors and everything. But I want you all to enjoy it. And thank my staff who's here from District 3. Wave your hand, LaShawn, Brandon, Sean Craig, graduate from Southwest DeKalb. LaShawn, she's a graduate from Towers High School. So I got people that live here, was born here, that is working for us now. God bless you all, and thank Porter Sanford for what. Oh, the Eagles? Did I forget the Eagles? Columbia High School. I'm sorry about the Eagles in the house, but thank you all.
I'll give it up one more time for Commissioner Johnson. Okay, now before we dive into it really quickly, Commissioner Johnson said something that's really important. I want you guys to remember this. What he said is, a lot of people are going to tell you can't do something. So they're going to say, no, you can't do something. No, you can't do something. Sometimes it's your classmates. Sometimes it's your teachers. Sometimes it's yourself who say you can't do something, right? But I want you guys to repeat after me. Say, the word no is just now without the W I'm about to get. Ooh, stop playing. Ooh. So look, the word N-O-W spells now, right? If people tell you no, I want you just to interpret it a different way. If they say no, it's just, oh, well, that's actually now. I'm just going to bring the W to the word, right? So if you guys have that kind of mindset, you can always be victorious in whatever you do, because you always have that victory, all right? Everybody got that? Cool. So we're going to introduce our keynote speaker. He goes by Jorel JFly Flynn. Everybody say fly. He's making a difference in the lives of people through his passion for music as a CEO, philanthropist, humanitarian, community activist, husband, and father. Starting out in his hometown of Waycross, Georgia as a local drummer, JFly moved to Atlanta just days after graduating high school and immediately started making an impact in the Atlanta music scene. He has worked as a studio musician in all genres of music, including Andre 3000, Montel Jordan, the legendary icon Aretha Franklin, just to name a few. As a musical director, JFly has been able to expose his hometown to some of the best talents such as Jennifer Holliday, Climax, Jorel, Bobby Brown, Alex Bugnan, and After 7 by having all grace the stage of his annual JFly Music Festival, which grew to 25,000 plus attendees over 8 years and has been recognized as one of the largest festivals in Southeast Georgia. Additional directorships and television appearances, including top-rated WSB Centennial Olympic Park's 4th annual July celebration of Heisman Trophy celebrations, the Soul Train Music Awards, BET Sunday's Best, and Tyler Perry movies. He's currently touring with artists such as Peebo Bryson and Bobby Brown while producing his own music. JFly reviews his first solo album in November 2011 and has recently released singles from his upcoming album, Dream, which has been listed on the top 100 of the smooth jazz charts for many weeks. Proving that mastery of his craft as an artist, JFly is an ambassador for numerous drum equipment companies through endorsements. JFly, the humanitarian, believes in investing his time and talent into the students of his community. In 2009, he launched his most passionate endeavor, the How Big Is Your Dream, which assists and encourages local youth to turn their dreams into reality via education, practical application, and engagement. Everybody give it up for JFly. Come on, a little more than that. Come on, there we go.
I'm going to stay behind this podium as long as I can. So, I've been on tour, so y'all tell me, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes, which one? Okay, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. So, you hear a lot of things about dreams and talent and gifts and follow your dreams, follow your passions. Hold on one second. But I don't hear a lot of things about how to bring those dreams into reality. One of the biggest things for me was where I grew up. I felt like a lot of those dreams were for other people. I didn't feel like it was for me. Seeing a lot of shooting, a lot of drug deals, a lot of things that would land me in jail. My reality, by statistics, said I was supposed to be in jail by the age of 18. And you know, when you grow up in inner city or humble beginnings or the ghetto, as I like to call it, you know, you try to figure out ways that you can get out unscathed. And the elders in the community, you know, they do their best to help you and say you're better than this, and you know there is a better way, but your reality shows you a different picture. So with that being said, I was born in Waycross, Georgia. Anybody ever heard of Waycross, Georgia? No. So the population in Waycross, Georgia is about, I guess, 20,000. No real resources, nothing pointed to the industry. Everything pointed to either sell drugs to make money or work at the railroad or work at a grocery store. So my options were very, 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 very minimal. And, you know, I managed to make it through high school without a police record, managed to graduate. And when I graduated, I had no plan. I heard Commissioner Johnson say, you know, you have to have a plan. And my thing was, long as I can graduate and not have to get up in the morning and go back to school, that's really all I wanted to do. I feel like I would have made it. But that was, for me, where it all started. Graduated the next day, I moved to Atlanta. When I got here, I started going back into places that resembled where I grew up. So I started hanging out at 285 Flea Market. Y'all know where that's at? Okay, so in that time, it was a lot of things that we would do. I was pretty good with my hands, so I would connect car systems. Back in the day, they would have like 215s, 412s, all that stuff in their trunk. So I can do that stuff pretty cool. I learned how to do it. So I would be over there just hanging out, not really doing nothing. You know, I would wake up when I wanted to. I would just go over there and just be there with no real vision of where I wanted to be, no destiny-driven day, just hanging out. And every now and then I would connect a car. This was one of the defining times in my life, one of my first crossroads. So I was connecting a car system for this particular individual. I went back in the inside to get some parts for the car. When I came back out, the police had did a sweep of everybody that was around this particular car, and it was the car that I was working on. And I was like, what just happened? And they was like, well, the feds had been ghosting this guy for the last week. Now, had God not saw fit to have me go back in, I would have been in jail. And it started to have me focus in a little bit more on intentionality. So everybody say, how big is your dream? Everybody say, how big is my dream? So the process started for me. If I want something better out of life, I got to be intentional about my life. So I said, okay, what is it that I do? I mean, I really have this music and these beats, and, you know, I can play this music, but everybody told me that the industry ain't no real job. I was always told, okay, you good with the drums, you good with music, but what's going to be your real job? And it always shelved my idea of anything that I could become that drove me day to day. So I'm going to start a process that has landed me here to talking to you. First thing, talent, dreams, your wishes, your ambition. Think about those things that wakes you up, that you're naturally talented at, that drives you, that gives you your urge to make it day to day. What are your processes to grow that dream, that passion, that goal? I was always made to feel like education was a big hurdle that I needed to jump across. I never was presented education as minimal as somebody helping me to achieve things that I didn't know. Education is always handed to you by your elders, but it was always made to look like I got to go to an institution to get this degree, to follow this career track that I had no desire to be in. And it made me resent education, actually. The way that I started embracing education was once I identified my dream and my goals, I started to see the things that I needed to educate myself around to help those dreams become reality. So what exposed my lack of education? I was doing some music, and I'm going to fast forward, then I'm going to go back. I was doing a jingle for Coca-Cola, and I had got paid to go to Orlando, Florida, and we was doing a commercial. Everybody know what a jingle is? So we was doing this. They paid for my flight. They gave me per diem. Per diem is your eating expense. So they paid me to fly. They paid for my food, and then they give me a salary. So I got in this setting. It was an orchestral setting, orchestra, people that have grown up reading music all their life and been trained. And here I am, the only me in the room, And the conductor came out and put sheet music in front of everybody. This was the first time that my gift was challenged by the lack of education. So, this is JFly, the drummer that everybody calls to do award shows and stuff. He put the sheet music out. They didn't play any audio before the music started. So the conductor walks out. He says, so this is your count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm supposed to play. Nothing. So here go me trying to buy some time. I started messing with the drums and started trying to fake him out, really. So he's like, okay, Mr. Drummer from Atlanta, it starts with you with a drum fill. I'm like, oh my God. Everybody reads except me. So he did it again. And I was like, well, can y'all play an MP3 or audio or some kind of music? He's like, well, we don't do that in this setting. Now, I had a choice to make. Either I was going to blame him for what I didn't know or take responsibility and to equip myself for what I said I wanted to do. So when I came back, of course, I didn't finish that gig. They sent me back and hired somebody else that could read. It was humbling. It was embarrassing, but it pushed me. And if I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this for real, I have to educate myself. So now I started to look at things that would make me better at the gift that God gave me and give me sustainability. So I'm in school. First time I was in school, I went to DeKalb Tech. I was pursuing electronic technology. Again, I was kind of good with technology because I would connect car systems and do all this stuff, but I wasn't driven by passion. So I was just going because everybody told me you need to do something that's legal to make money. And I was like, well, yeah, legal. And I was like, okay, this technology thing. And I'm really hoping that you understand this because I'm going to lead you to how big is your dream and what you can do to pursue your dreams. So I'm in school doing what it takes to make the grades. I was, who's who among college students. And like Commissioner Johnson said, I was on the Hope Scholarship. I didn't have to pay for school. I was there merely surviving because I didn't want to let my parents down. I didn't want to let my neighborhood down. And I was the one that made it, so to speak. I had one more semester to go, and then I got a call. And this was the first professional call that I made. And this is me going backwards from that education moment. The call was to go on tour, and it would have been my first tour. Every opportunity that I had to play music, I would do it for free. I would just do it because I loved it, and I could do it, and I was great at it. And I got this call, and they say, well, this is what it is. We're going on tour. It's an 8-week run. You pay this and we'll pay you that. What's your rate? I didn't even know what to tell them my rate was because I had never gotten paid. And I'm like, well, whatever you want to pay, I'm cool. It's like, are you allergic to anything? Because we want to make sure that the dietitian has your food that you want to eat. And I'm in my head, I'm like, man, I grew up on bologna and cheese and cornflakes and ramen noodles. So what is a dietitian? So they sent me this sheet that I had to fill out stuff that I like. And again, this is me now being put in a environment that I had never witnessed. And it opened me up to, man, this is a real world. So fast forward, I go to New York, we in rehearsal. The artists, it was Kelly Price, Dave Hollister, Glenn Lewis, and it's not my fault, but it was R. Kelly. So in this setting, y'all, we're in the studios, and the studios was called SIR. And it's a rehearsal studios where all the professionals come and get prepared for their tours. So we had this whole routing schedule. We had a tour manager. We had all of the people that will be going on this tour. And then it started showing me career paths that lie within entertainment. And again, I'm telling you about the processes that took me from dreaming to being sustainable in a passion that sustains me and my family. Okay? So we did this tour. One more semester I had left, and I would have had a degree in electronic technology. I was who's who among college students because anything that I did it very good, and I focused in. So doing my studies, but not driven by passion. Just doing it to merely please everybody else. Everybody say motivation comes from without. Everybody say that? Motivation comes from the outside. I'll say it like that. Motivation comes from the outside. But it starts from within. So, with that, I had a decision to make if I was going to pursue everybody else's dreams or follow my own. And my educators, they may frown upon this, but I immediately stopped learning electronic technology and started focusing on music. Now, you may ask, well, Jay, why didn't you just finish that one semester and have your degree and have something to fall back on? And honestly, I'm going to tell you like this. I believe in God, and I go to church. And I believe just like the lawyer and the doctor, when they go to school, nobody ever asks them what you're going to fall back on. They say, go pursue your degree and be great at it. And I felt that God gave me a gift of music. And if I went at it with all of my heart and followed his direction, I wouldn't need to follow on nobody but him. And that's what I did. So 15 years later, this is what it is. JFly is a musician. JFly is a CEO and president. And JFly has been a music director. And JFly reads music. Like, wow, Jay, how did you manage to take a dream and make it reality? I had to focus in and stop blaming everything that I didn't have for the reasons I couldn't accomplish my goals. So I started to look at the people that were doing it. And I didn't envy them. I used them as motivation for me. I saw what I wanted. I focused in. And I said, these are the tools that I need to bring to me to make me the me that I want to be. You're not in a fight against the next person. You're in a fight with yourself. And once you win that battle, then you start moving towards your dream. So, what is it? The talent? What is the dream? The thing that you naturally have that make you feel fulfilled within. I mean, I heard them mention towers. We did something at Towers that has never been done in the state of Georgia. We was able to help Towers receive a Grammy. Well, their band was known as the Grammy award-winning band, Towers High School. And that school won that recognition in competition with bands across the nation, not just in Georgia. So I'll give it up for Towers. So, with that talent and with pursuing my dreams, then I moved to something that I call building powerful product. You can't just have a dream and put no efforts around it. And this led me back to focused education. Versus just seeing education as something that I need to just virtually comply, I needed to understand that education is here to help me achieve my dreams and goals. So, building powerful product. Your talent is your product, but you got to build upon it. So, me learning how to read, me learning how to speak, because I was so scared to speak publicly, I would never get up in front of crowds. I started taking courses that would help me fuel my dream and do everything that I needed to maximize my dreams and my passions. So now, outside of being all the other stuff, I'm now the president of the Recording Academy, which you guys know as the Grammys organization. The first black male, and it hasn't been a black male or female in this position in over 12 years. And you know, the resources that I have, my thing is, and my niche and my understanding is, I'm just a vessel that I have to create opportunities or connectivity for those that feel like they don't have the same chances. So when I'm able to connect with you guys, just see it as a resource that I have to help either motivate me or connect me to resources that will help my dreams become reality. So building your powerful product leads me to the next thing, your creative leverage. Like, okay, product, creative leverage. The more you build upon that product gives you leverage when you go to the negotiation table. I mean, you guys have social media. We had word of mouth, which is an extension of social media in my opinion. But the more you build upon it, the better you get at what you do, then you create leverage that you can negotiate. You don't have to take anything and everything that somebody gives you. Understand that you have the leverage to create your own future, but you create your future by the habits that you develop day to day. And my habits are so rudimentary that nothing in my day points me in a direction that will conflict in what my dreams and passions are. You know, so build time and spend time, I should say, on creating the product that will give you the leverage. You have the talent. Figure out what you want that talent to look like as it relates to sustainability, but build upon it day by day. and surround yourself with the people that'll push you closer to that dream and that passion so it can become sustainable. Y'all with me? Okay. So, what is the ideal career for a person that has dreams, visions, and goals? And I really didn't even pursue my visions and goals with money in mind. I just wanted to be fulfilled. And in this day, we talk about monetization and how you're going to make money at it. Of course, you need to make money at it, but that shouldn't be at the front of why you do what you do. Self-fulfillment drove me so much that I didn't even know I was supposed to be getting paid to do what I was doing. But it didn't matter because I was following the voice of God. And he had me the whole way. So through this process, I learned a whole lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that people was like, how did you learn that? And I was like, I just did what it took to become successful and fulfill my own passions and desires. So I'm going to show you a few things that people said I wouldn't be able to do. Now, again, this is fuel and should be used as fuel and motivation for you to say, if JFly did it coming from Waycross, a population of 1,200 people, I can do it too. You know, no formal education in music. I didn't even go through band as it relates to my musical endeavors. I only played at church when I went to church. And then, you know, everything else was just the gift that God gave me. I was naturally talented at it. So after I really started to focus in, I'm going to show you some of the things that I was able to accomplish. And again, coming from Waycross, we ain't have no music scene. We ain't have no live bands playing here. All we had was the railroad, which is CXX. We had the grocery markets and the neighborhood. Yeah, y'all know what was going on in the neighborhood, so I ain't going to even call them. So, some of my successes. I want to walk out here. Again, being at the top of your craft only comes with focused dedication to make sure you maximize every area of that talent. So these are some of the tours. This tour right here was the tour I did with the New Edition. I did their All Six tour. And again, when you get paid to do something you love, something you're going to do anyway, that's destiny for me. So I toured the nation with the New Edition. I did a run with Rick Ross. Also worked with 2 Chainz. I had to get out that culture, though, because it was reminding me of where I grew up at. You heard the MC say, yeah, thank you, 2 Degrees, for coming to help me. That's an artist, too. Y'all give it up for 2 Degrees. Thank you so much, young man. So this right here, check it out. So the first time that they ever had a live band on the ESPN Heisman Trophy Awards, your boy was the MD. And again, remember now, before you clap, I want you to remember this. I started out not being able to read, but when confronted by the things I didn't know, I didn't resent it. I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this for real. I got to man up or woman up. I'm not a woman, but, you know, you use it as it so fits. So I was the MD for music director, so you will call, for the ESPN Heisman Trophy Awards. This was a big honor right here for me. I was able to play the inauguration in Colorado for Barack Obama. So, and all of those experiences, and my MC, he mentioned the JFly Music Festival, which I took back to my hometown. So I went back to Waycross to some of the people that said I wouldn't do it, and some of the people that was, you know, really wanting me to make it, and I brought a festival back to my hometown in the name of JFly Music Festival. And you know, honestly, the thing about these opportunities were they always fueled me to say, if they did it, I can do it. I just got to be willing to do the work. And a lot of times people would come to Waycross, or the ones that would come, but I felt like, okay, they coming, but this ain't gonna apply to me because I'm growing up trying to figure out what we gonna wear to school. Y'all talking about J's and Timberlands. I was trying to figure out what shoes I was gonna wear, period. As y'all say, period. So the reality was a little different, but again, driven by I wanted to be something bigger than what I saw in my community. And when I made it, I went back and said, this is how I do it. That's why I'm standing up here with you guys. I'm in the midst of a tour right now, and I'll be in Vancouver on Friday with Bobby Brown. And I just was doing this run with Dionne Warwick, Peebo Bryson, and Denise Williams. I work with a lot of legacy artists. Tomorrow, I'll be speaking at a Grammys event, and I'll be in rehearsals all day on Thursday and speaking. But the thing about this is it allows me to give you real connectivity. A lot of people, they want to sell you connectivity, but I'm like, how am I going to really help by charging somebody access to what God gave me for free? All I ask is you do right by the information. I got one nugget I want to say. And Commissioner Johnson kind of, he alluded to it, but I want you to put this in your heart. Prepare for opportunity before it arrives. Say that. Not when it gets there. And the thing about it is, you're not guaranteed that it's going to come back. I had a chance to make a lot of wrongs right by my focus and belief in God, but it ain't guaranteed. And I'll say this, for you guys, is anybody in here that's looking to pursue entertainment at all? Okay. So what I'll say is, follow How Big Is Your Dream on IG, HBIYD. And we're going to be out front giving out some information. But I don't ever want you to feel that you don't have resources. Like Commissioner Johnson said, Step has been on Broadway and does a lot of things in the community. I do a lot of things in the community, but you have to access the information and resources. Life is not a lottery. It don't reward thought, it reward action. And you have to be very intentional. I know a lot of times you feel like your back is up against the wall, and you feel like you don't have the same resources. But you have to go at it with all you have, because the more you do, the more will be revealed. But you have to take the first step, okay? So I'm going to give you like 5 questions to ask me. Appreciate it, 2 degree. About the industry. I'll answer anything except how much I make, okay? But anything about my processes, anything about, what I'm doing, as it relates to the industry, I will answer. That's a great question, because the thing about pursuing something that has never been done in your family is the fear of not accomplishing it, especially when you're being told by the ones you think love you that it would never happen. I mean, I was told that by people I respected. Man, okay, that's cool, but that ain't going to happen. That don't happen for people like you. And I'm like, it rattles you, and it's unnerving. And I cried, honestly. I was like, how could they tell me that? I could see if I was out here trying to sell drugs or something, but for me trying to better myself, somebody said it ain't going to happen. So, again, the scary part is not knowing, but the rewarding part is the more you do, the more will be revealed. Okay? Question? Oh, yeah. She asked me, did I ever feel like this one for me? Oh, yes. In those times when I wasn't making money, I was working jobs. So I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Foot Locker. I worked at UPS, to the point when I asked them, I was like, when will y'all be laying off? Because this is not for me. And my last job, I worked at Grady Memorial Hospital. They called it a floor tech, but I was a janitor. okay? Just to keep it real. And you know what was interesting? As I would go through those hallways, you know, I would be buffing floors, and I would be doing, because at that time I was at DeKalb Tech also. And that's another thing. I didn't wait on people to tell me, like, you need to make some money. Being broke was enough for me to go out there and get some money. So I did the legal things to do. I just want to keep that in front of everybody, the legal things. But, you know, I did what I had to do, and then it hit for me because God honors actions, not just your thoughts. And while I was in school, I got my break in entertainment. And I'm going to show you this. People talk about money, they talk about wealth, they talk about, you know, pursuing wealth. But my travels has taken me around the world, and I have currency from every country that I've visited as a reminder to myself that when I do what he told me, he'll straighten out the path for me. So this is, you hold this for me, Miss Taryn. This is from Bahamas. I'm gonna go through this fast, and then I know, man, I'm part preacher, so I get to talking too much. And again, being paid to fly, having eaten per diem, and then being paid for the performance don't come by you being mediocre. It's very aggressive in entertainment and very competitive. I don't want anybody to just think, oh, Jay dreamed and he educated himself and it happened. No. It's I don't want to say a bunch. It's a lot of focus, diligence, perseverance, and being told no, but still going. Okay. So, go through this. This is money from career. I'll be at the table for you guys that want to see this because, again, for me, I never was shown this, so I didn't think it was even accessible for people like me or for people that grew up where I grew up. So I'm always intentional about showing you guys what a reflection of yourself can look like, okay? This is money from Malaysia. This is money right here from Jamaica. And these are tours and world travels. Again, this is some more Malaysian money. This is not monopoly money. This actually spends in these countries still, y'all. This is for the Philippines. Barbados. That's probably the first time you're going to see a black man on some money right there. This is from South Korea. And I want you guys to come by the table and see it because I need to plant seeds of hope in the sense of what can become, okay? This is Vietnam. This is from the Eastern Caribbean. And this, of course, USA money. Thank you so much. Taryn. Okay. So, any other questions? Okay, clear your throat. You finna sing. Go ahead. Clear your throat.
Okay, so what's the most exciting thing that happened to you on tour?
That's a good question. The most exciting thing that happens is seeing how the fans react to what I love and how the beat of the drums move them. To see sometimes millions of people respond to something that you respond to first and them embrace it and love it. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, one of the most rewarding things when I was playing with New Edition was I would see the whole entire fans responding and dancing and doing their steps and singing their lyrics. And to me, that was a demonstration of, you know, if you do it and honor God, his gift will make room for you, and you don't have to make room for yourself. I'll say this, too. There's no artist to date that's living that I hadn't been able to work with. Outside of Michael Jackson, everybody else I was able to work with. I do a summer academy here at the Port of Sanford, and one year I got a call to go and record and just show up at the studio. I was like, what am I doing? I always have drumsticks. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is back to the prepare for opportunity before it arrives, not when it gets there. And it was like, we just need you to show up. I walk in the room. It's 3 people in the room. It's the guy that called me. And then it's the person on the phone talking, trying to get clearance. So Andre 3000 was talking to Prince on the phone about a record that I was getting ready to record for Aretha Franklin. And it happened to be the last record that she recorded before she passed on. And I was the only drummer in Atlanta to work on that record. So and again, what me and Mr. Step do in entertainment, it means nothing for me if I'm not making myself a resource for you guys. The thing about talent, especially in our community, people talk about people that do stuff great and people that do stuff very bad. I just made it an intention anytime I got behind the drums, no matter how big or how small the crowd was, I gave it my all. I got discovered at a 7:30 a.m. service at church. It was about 30 people at the service. I had no idea that 2 people were coming to see me play. No idea. I didn't know who they were. Somebody told them about a drummer that plays at this church, and they needed a drummer to play some music. So they came at a 7:30 service, sat in the back, and I'm just going in like I'm at Phillips Arena. I'm like, I'm getting it. After the service, they came up to me and said, have you ever played jazz? To that point, I hadn't played anything but gospel music. But music is music for me. I was like, nah, what is jazz? And they gave me my first opportunity outside of the church to play music. And they came to a 7:30 a.m. service. So you never can estimate or take for granted your opportunities to shine. Always put your best foot forward. Okay? All right, I'll answer one more question. She said, did my family agree with me moving to Atlanta? So I'll say this. I'm the first in my family to play anything but gospel music. I'm the first in my family to have tattoos. I resented so much stuff as it relates to how I grew up, but I came back to understand that it was done in well-intention. So once I graduated and moved, I'm just left. I didn't get no heads up, y'all, peace, I'm out. When I called my mom, she's like, where you at? I said, I'm in Atlanta. She's like, Atlanta? I was like, yeah, I left the day after I graduated. Because for me, if I was going to do it, it's almost like jumping in the pool and the water cold. You can't just get in there and be like, ooh. You just dive in. So I just had to dive in. I thank God honored my faith in him to just dive in. And again, don't be afraid to tell your story. And don't be ashamed of your story. Because it's all pointing back to what's being developed within inside of you, okay? Okay, I said I was going to answer your question. Where you at?
Who are you wearing?
Who am I wearing clothes-wise? Okay. Oh, the shoes first? Okay, 90% of the stuff that I wear is either endorsed or sponsored. So these shoes were designed by a lady that do designs for a lot of movies. And she saw me on IG and asked if she could design a pair of shoes for me. So she made some shoes that I could play, and it brings recognition back to what she do. But she hand designed them. And I've been, I told her I'll be her brand ambassador. So as you grow and as your celebrity grows, you become a billboard for other people's brand. Oh, the necklace, that's my logo. That's JFly. What age did I start playing the drums? I would say at age 5. And I did try to be in marching band in middle school. And my instructor put me on tuba. And as a kid, I had a weight issue. It wasn't an issue. I talking about me. So I can call me fat. I was fat. And they say you was just full-figured and you just, gourmet and husky. JFly was fat. So he put me on tuba. And honestly, y'all, when I started playing tuba, I'm like, he gonna wrap this big old instrument around my big old body. Ain't no girls gonna wanna holler at no JFly. So, and even, okay, I'm surprised nobody asked me how I got the name JFly. So, in that metamorphosis of me getting out of band, I started playing sports because I'm like, well, if I start playing sports, I might lose weight, and then I might, be cool. So I started playing football. And honestly, JFly started as a joke because I was so slow that the guy would say, JFly, JFly, and he would make fun of me. But I was walking down the hall in high school, and my wife is here, but a girl said, JFly. I was like, yeah, what's up? My name is JFly. And I started, literally from that point on, I started embracing it. But it made me unique. And people started to say JFly, and JFly became cool. So the right person called you the right name at the right time totally changed my whole, I was like, man, what y'all say, lit now? Is that the word? Don't let me be out of, what is it? Quasi. Okay, whatever y'all say, that's what began to happen. I turned the name into a brand, and I made the brand monetizable. So when you say monetize, that's something that you're able to sell and make money at. JFly is now a brand, as well as How Big Is Your Dream? Y'all dig it? Okay, cool. So that's all my time. I appreciate you guys. Access is available. Thank you so much. Thanks, my man.
Really quickly, I want you guys to give it up for Dorian DeBarr. All right, he's the interim director for Decide DeKalb. Give it up for Dorian.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Good. So that's a tough person to follow up after JFly. But let me start off with this. I heard Towers High School is in the building. Yeah. Class of 99 all day. So went to Towers High School, graduated class of 99, went on to Georgia Southern, and for college and through all of that, I'm now the interim president of Decide DeKalb Development Authority. So what is Decide DeKalb Development Authority? We are the economic development authority for DeKalb County. So my principal responsibility is to ensure that you all and your families have opportunities for work in real jobs, real good paying jobs in DeKalb County. And a portion of that is with respect to DeKalb Entertainment Commission. So what is DeKalb Entertainment Commission? So that is a commission that's within my shop. And we are responsible for making sure that the business tied to the entertainment industry succeed in DeKalb County. So that's film, entertainment, anybody familiar with esports? Yes, so esports is a big part of our initiative, but we're trying to come up with a strategy about how do we captivate the esports crowd. And so I have relationships with folks in the city of Atlanta, so they have these huge facilities where folks just go in and play tournaments all the time. But we need to be in a position where we can have a team that maybe is out of Towers High School with respect to esports, and then they have somewhere to play, and then we can host tournaments in DeKalb County and be at the forefront of esports and show everybody else how it should be done. And how do we cultivate folks in this arena, and how do we get them paid ultimately, because that's what it's all about. We are looking to do some really cool things around esports in DeKalb County, and again, just to provide opportunities for you all to have good jobs and stay in DeKalb County and actually thrive in DeKalb County. And if you all would take down the website, I think it might be helpful if you have interest in the entertainment industry. It's called DeKalbEntertainment.com. And so go to that website. It shows out all the events that we host. So we host a number of events in DeKalb County. Most recently, we did the Bronze Lens Festival, and so that was in the city of Atlanta, and so that was a really well attended event, and so we can actually plug you into those types of events so that you can get around the folks that you want to be in contact with respect to the entertainment industry. And again, any questions, I'll put you in contact with whoever you need to reach out to, and I'll be definitely more than happy to talk to you myself. Thank you all.